Good evening. Welcome to Light Code Panel. I'm Tanya Griffin, Dean of Education with Light Language University, and I'm here with Anna Noyes, founder of Light Language University and Circle Insights. Tonight, our topic is going to be medical intuitive. Hello, Anna. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, wonderful. So we're doing medical intuitive. Okay, that's a good one.
Yes. That's one of our lovely courses, upper level courses with Light Language University.
Yes.
So tell me, what is a medical intuitive?
So a medical intuitive is a person. So we have to go back to understand that every physical sense is matched by a psychic sense or an intuitive sense. And so a medical intuitive uses the energy of the psychic senses or the intuitive sense to look in the body, to scan the aura, to scan the energy in the fields or into the physical body and look at the organs and kind of see what's out of line, what's out of balance. And from there, that's kind of what they are. I think we've also heard of psychic surgeons, medical intuitive, people who can do the energy work.
So, why would someone choose to have or do an intuitive surgery?
Well, so we have mind, body, and spirit, and what we understand, and a lot of people, and if you look at the symbol behind you, the triangle, which represents the physical body, the physical mind, and then the other part is the spirit anatomy. And sometimes when we are working with medicines or we're working with doctors, they're taking care of our minds, and the psychologists are taking care of our minds, and the doctors are taking care of our physical bodies. But there's that part of energy that we forget. That's the third part of us. So we're the spirit. And that part can also, like emotions or anything that can trigger the electrical senses and create disharmony and imbalance, which causes unbalance, which causes disease and makes us feel bad. So, yeah.
Okay, so when you go to do to a psychic surgeon or intuitive surgery, how would that work?
Well, you would find someone that you would trust, of course. We are teaching, right, Tanya? We're teaching teachers and practitioners on how to be medical intuitive. So they go through an extensive training as practitioners and then go into their teaching if they want to. But yes, you would find somebody that you would reputable, that you would trust, and make an appointment with them, of course, and then start having them do assessments and start working with them for a surgery.
So, if someone wanted to do this, how would they go about finding someone who was a medical intuitive?
Um, well, I think, and that goes back to the Light Language University. They could go to our university, get in contact with you, and then you would definitely lead them in. I'm a medical intuitive. I do energy work. I do surgeries. I work with balancing chakras and bringing energy in. But we're also training, and you as well are studying to be a medical intuitive, and some of the people that are part of our group.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So, when someone is undergoing this process, how would they know it was working?
Oh, you'll know it's working. So there's a couple of things that happen. For some people, as you move energy, and I think people don't realize that when we're actually in the body, we're moving organs, we're moving cells, we're moving energy. And that flow of chi does move things around to bring everything back into balance. And when it does, people they'll start to detox, or they'll start to feel better immediately, or they'll feel the shifts, or some people don't feel. So there's not there's no wrong way. Some people don't feel anything moving around, some people do. And we were working on someone, and we were working on her back, And she immediately started feeling us inside working on her. And the next day, she felt the energy flowing. She felt all the oxygen moving and was able to go on without any pain.
I know we've had several success stories with those that we've worked with. So, would a medical intuitive surgery be the same as a psychic surgery?
Yes, that's
Okay.
a very good question. Yes, we just use the word intuitive again, going back to the five senses and the etheric level.
Correct. So, if I decided to have intuitive surgery, how would I prepare to do that?
Um, before you go, it's really is like a surgery. And Tanya, you may want to speak on that a little bit because you're starting to step in and do the developing groups and kind of lead that. I'll just step back and let you talk.
Well, I mean, usually what we do with everybody is we actually prepare them. We have them to get relaxed and we walk them through some breathing exercises and stuff to prepare. But there's nothing ahead of time that they would need to do to prepare. Um, it's not like actual physical surgery where you might have to, not drink or eat or anything for 24 hours before. We would actually prepare them right beforehand and get them comfortable and relaxed and talk them through it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and for some people, they may want to do some meditations or kind of get. I know some people are nervous, and we've even had where even if they gave us permission, they might block us. So doing the meditation and breathing helps them to release and kind of feel confident and as we start to work on them. But yeah, I think having people and we as an developing group is not just one person, it's several people working on you,
Mhm.
which goes a little faster.
Yes. So if someone asks, what is spirit anatomy? How would you describe that to them?
Ah, well, spirit anatomy are as involved with all the chakras, the meridians, the aura fields, and different aspects that are playing with different parts because we're multidimensional. So we go back into the symbol behind you, the logo for the university. We've got mind, body, and soul, and those circles represent the different dimensions. And then we have the golden phoenix that rises out of the ashes, which is the human being. Uh, being born into this beautiful age. And then, of course, we're moving from the solar plexus into the sacral, I mean, into the heart chakra. So, what does that mean? That means, yes, it's all interconnected, interwoven together, and everything works as balance. So, again, it goes back to what we were saying earlier that mind, body, and spirit have to be balanced in that perfect triangle before you can have a shift and actually um, move forward in a healing or move forward for somebody to be ready. And I think that that mind is also the psychological. If a person doesn't believe they're going to get better, then they're going to slow themselves down because energy always follows thought. So even if we're doing an adjustment or working on someone and they don't believe it, it's not going to work.
Right. And we witnessed that before. We do have people that will come to us and no matter what you do, they come out of it and they say, yes, I feel more energetic or whatever, but they truly don't believe that we're doing anything to further their health. And so, therefore, they don't actually see the benefit because, there again, like you said, it is about mind, body, and spirit.
Exactly. Well, and the other part of that, and I'm glad you said that, is because it can be in layers. So for some people, it may be one of a psychic surgery, or it might be working with us, but it may be for somebody else, it may be two or three, or somebody else, it may be five or six. But as they start each piece and they start to heal, as the energy starts to adjust and the flow starts to happen, the body starts to heal. And then the next step, and then the flow adjusts and the body starts to heal. So
Mhm.
it's not just a one time fix. And I want to bring up with cancer. Cancer is one of those things where it just For some people, it can, depending on where they are and where we talked about records in the Akashic records about the agreements and also about the contracts. It can be a quick fix, but for some, but not always. It just really depends. And the person is the one that can hold it back in the progression. You never know.
Correct. Because if it is, say, what you said with cancer, and um, it is an agreement that you have that.
Well, it can be a contract too, Tanya.
Right, I
You can
know.
do that. But if it is an agreement, is what you're
If it
saying.
is an agreement and
Okay.
we're working on that, but the person is not willing to do the work to resolve the purpose of the agreement, then therefore they will not recover from that.
Yeah, usually they don't. And then if it's an agreement, we've had people that recover very quickly and very
Right.
fast. So usually there's a lesson. And what's interesting in Chinese medicine, they do talk about, and I remember working with my mentor, that a medical intuitive, if they can see it outside in the aura before, so it starts out way out here and it starts to move in the illness. Because it all begins with consciousness. We go back to those four levels of consciousness and how we connect. But as that starts to come in, if they can release it before it hits the physical body, it never hits the body, and the person never has to go through that experience. But it can also pop up again if that person has karma, or if that person has an agreement that they want to continue, or if they have a contract. And in that case, there's several possibilities, but we know how to work, and that's what I like about our universities. We're teaching our not only our staff, but our staff is really good about teaching how to look at these different, and we call it angles of the apple, and see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look
Exactly.
at both sides. Yeah.
So, medical intuitives, are they? Do they have the ability to see spiritual attachments? And if so, do they address that as part of the intuitive surgery?
Yes, they do. And yes, but as part of the training, we do trains that's separate, because it is a whole nother aspect that deserves its own training for it. So we usually do that separate. But yeah, if you could do the combinations, I would say the toolbox for the medical intuitive would be great to have the Akashic records in your toolbox, because you can look at the contracts, you can open up the energy from the different parts of the body, and then going in and having the like spirit rescue, because you could, if you have a being that's attached, what do you do with that? That's part of it. And then the medical intuitive is working with the organs and the chi and the flow and the different portals and all of that we cover in Light Language 101. And then you could even add the shamanic, because in the shamanic there's parts of us when we are in chaos, or there's chaos around us, or we have something very traumatic that happens. Sometimes we come outside. I know some people, and I've had that myself, where something really scared me or something happened, and I'm out here, I'm not in my body, and I'm watching myself go through an experience. And in that case, sometimes parts of our anatomy kind of get blocked, or it goes somewhere else to be. So you could do soul retrieval. And all of these things are wonderful. We have herbal essence that we use with energy medicine, which is amazing because, again, everything's connected through our thoughts, and everything's connected through the connection through the collectives, the group, and the how we're all put together in one and oneness, and everything's held together. So that's something that can be brought in.
Okay. What types of illnesses would a medical intuitive help with?
All everything, pretty much. So what I've seen, I mean, we've worked with cancer. That's one of the ones that we work with. But there's diabetes. There's it just there can be COVID. We've done COVID. I mean, there's just different things: back problems, bones, joints, arthritis. Interesting thing when, and I like to tell my when I'm working on this. when we're working on certain levels of dimensions, we can bring in energies that are a lot higher than the third dimension that actually help to heal. And we can also help set that kind of an agreement to shift things. And when we do that, we can teach our clients how to hold it. And that's part of, we usually give them homework or something, as you know, we give
Right.
quite a bit. We always give them homework. So, yes,
So, would you feel pain if a medical intuitive were to work on you?
it depends. For some people, they don't feel anything. For others, it's like a Mack truck ran over them because it's like a real surgery. We usually do 3 days, as you know, and you kind of lead. You know about that. I'll let you speak on
Right.
this. Yes.
Usually, we will give them, we will tell them, just like any other type of surgery, but to give them 3 days to take it easy, to drink plenty of fluids, because your body is going through that shifting of energy. Um, and to take it easy during that time. The same thing as if you had had another, an actual physical surgery on your body. Um, and we want people to understand that what they've gone through with the shifts in energy, it is very similar to a physical surgery. So you could feel tired, you could feel really sleepy, and to just take that time to recover.
Or sore. Some people feel sore, or they really feel what's moving. And other people will have instant gratification, and others it takes a couple of days. And usually it's 3 days. And
Mhm.
that's as the body starts to adjust to the energy.
And one thing I'd like to go back to, um, we were talking about the layers and the healing, because some people, they don't understand that once you open up that energy stream and get that energy flowing, you may have dealt with one issue, but as that energy starts flowing, another issue may present. So
Exactly.
it's not that it didn't work to begin with, but it's not a cure all. It's not the one time fix, like you said, that it's going to cure everything in your system.
Yes, exactly. Because it's like peeling that onion and opening it up, and then it switches over here, and you're like, oh, didn't see that because this was taking precedence.
Right.
So you have to kind of move around the onion and figure it out. It is, I think what's interesting is surprisingly, and I've been doing this since 2009 for a while, but I've seen so much change in how shifting where the doctors, they can take you to a point and medicine can take you to a point, and your um, psychology and background of doing the positive, but sometimes it's that energy that we forget about. It's the aura that's part. So 30% is in your physical body. The other side is your aura outside your body. So it's the light language that's making everything run. So if you put a tourniquet on something, and we know this with meridians, and we also know this with acupuncture, because acupuncture is moving. And if there's a kink in the energy and it doesn't flow right, you need to put the needles in, or you need to get the energy to move, and once the energy moves, the oxygen starts to move, the body starts to heal itself. The body is an incredible machine, and the spirit is an amazing machine, but we have two anatomies, and I think Tanya, that's what we've forgotten, and we've known about it, but we're really learning that it really takes both anatomies to line up to make that click, and that's what does the healing. And it happens so quickly when you get both of them in, but you got to wrap your head around it because you got to have both anatomies in there.
Mhm.
So it's exciting to watch. I love doing it.
Okay, so our last question is, does Light Language University offer such a service? And if so, how do I sign up?
I'll let you answer that one.
As a matter of fact, we do offer medical intuitive courses as a workshop. You need to have Light Language 101 and 102 first before you move on to the medical intuitive. And we do have developing groups that we have our students who declare if they want to be a practitioner or a teacher in that area, that they have to do 60 hours of developing group for a practitioner and 80 for a teacher, as well as other things. But yes, we do offer that. And then on the flip side of that, we also accept clients for our developing group. So that way the teachers can guide the students in working on actual individuals.
I love that because they get hands on with working with clients, but first they're working on themselves. Then they really get out there and start working with clients with that guidance and get the feedback. So we're just not cutting them loose to go out there. Oh,
Correct.
yes.
So, on how do they sign up? They would go to our website, which is lightlanguageuniversity.com, and they would first sign up. Well, there is an area for, I believe, our developing groups that you can sign up to be a client. And that would send us an email and we would get you scheduled. We would contact you and get you scheduled so we could put you on our calendar.
Yes, and I have to just put this in. We also have it for spirit rescue because a lot of people, yeah, with auras and energy and have attachments, but not only to the physical body, they also have it in land and homes and other disturbances that are happening. So that's something, another developing group that we give.
Correct. And we do take clients for that as well.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, I think that's all the time we have tonight. Thank you, Anna, for joining us.
Thank you.
I do want to announce that we will be at Conroe at the Lone Star Convention Center this weekend. If you are in the Houston area, please come out and see us. We will be at the Wellness Expo both Saturday and Sunday. And then on September the 11th and 12th, we have a Light Language 101 course coming up. So for those of you who are curious and want to find out what we're all about, please sign up for our Light Language 101 workshop. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.